Leadership is hard. And to be a good leader, you've got to have courage. Because a true leader has to make tough decisions. A true leader sometimes makes decisions that aren't very popular. A good leader spends a lot of time considering the future, considering the vision of where the organization is going, considering what they need to do and what they need to accomplish and what it's going to take. And at some point, somebody has to make the hard choices. Somebody has to have the courage to make the decisions that are necessary and that are important. Not the ones that are expedient, not the ones that will make people feel good, not the ones that will make everybody happy, because you can't make everybody happy. I think what we saw yesterday was total lack of leadership in a lot of areas. And politics is a hard game. Politics is a strange animal. Politics is all about power. It's not about leadership. And I'm going to think about how we can maybe start to change some of that. It's going to be hard. But nothing that is great to be accomplished was ever easy. I think we need a bigger influence of leadership in politics instead of people who are hungry for power. And I'm afraid we're going to see displays of power instead of leadership over the next period of time. Leaders have to have courage. And if you want to develop yourself into a good leader, a great leader, you have to develop courage within yourself. Leadership itself does not develop courage. If you have a position of leadership, you have a title. That does not give you courage. You will not get courage because you are now the leader. Courage can lead to leadership. We will always follow people who display courage before we follow somebody who claims to be a leader and has no courage. Leadership itself is hard. It involves challenge, lots of challenges. It involves making the tough decisions. Some people think they want to be a leader. Some people think they want to have a position, a title of leadership. But then they're afraid to make the tough decisions. They want to please everybody. They want to make everybody happy, and that's not leadership. Leadership involves taking risks. A lot of people, even people in business, even organizations, don't want their leaders to take risks. Boards of directors don't want their leaders to take risks. Stockholders don't want their leaders to take risks because it might cost them money. But true leadership requires courage to take risks that are appropriate to move the organization forward. True leadership involves change. You'll never, if you want to be a good leader, you'll never stay the same. You'll always be changing. You'll always be moving forward. It involves change. Change is hard. People don't like change. Change will mean maybe some jobs have to go away. Maybe some products have to be discontinued and something new happens. Leadership is hard. And it takes courage. So how do you develop courage as a leader? First, it starts in here. It starts inside of you. Courage isn't the absence of fear. You might see a lot of courageous leaders, courageous soldiers, courageous military leaders, courageous politicians, courageous business leaders. And you think, man, they're not afraid of anything. No, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing the things that you're afraid to do, but doing them anyway because you know it's the right thing to do. It's pushing down the unknown, pushing that fear away and doing the things that you know you need to do because you know they're the right thing to do. not the expedient, not the power-grabbing thing to do, not for your glory, but for the benefit and growth of the organization and the people that you serve. That's an interesting concept right there. A leader is more of a servant. A good leader with courage is a servant, more of a servant. You're not a boss. You serve your people. And you serve your people by not being afraid to make the tough decisions, by having the courage to do what you need to do to move the organization forward. To develop courage, you need to also be able to find common ground amongst differing ideas. Courage in leadership is not about getting your way. It's not about using your power to bully people around. Courage in leadership is being willing to sit down and talk to the person who opposes you, who has a different opinion, who challenges you, who wants to fight back. A courageous leader will sit down and talk to them and listen to their point of view. It's finding common ground. It's overcoming the challenges and controversies that come your way, that hit you every day. Yes, it's compromise. True leadership, courage in leadership is not about getting your way and bullying people to get what you want. It's about finding compromise and working together. We'll see if that happens over the next couple of years. For the next few months, I promise you it won't. But we'll see. So we need to work on that. You know, John Maxwell teaches about leadership all the time. I love John Maxwell. He said, courage deals with principle, not perception. If you don't have the ability to see when to stand up and the conviction to do it, you'll never be an effective leader. A courageous leader knows when it's their time to stand up in the face of challenge and controversy and find common ground and have the courage to sit down and listen and find compromise and work with people to move the organization forward. To develop courage means that you inspire other people to follow you. A courageous leader not only encourages people, but a courageous leader inspires others. You are so compelling in your person and your desire and your integrity that you compel other people to do the right thing. Courageous leaders are few and far between. True courageous leaders. We see so many leaders today who want to be powerful and get what they want by wielding their power instead of compelling people to do the right thing. And as a courageous leader, and when you develop courage, you will face fear. And so many people in position of leadership face fear. Everybody faces fear. Fear limits people. But a person of courage, the courage that they have inside of them, it expands them. They grow. They become a bigger person. They don't let the fear tamp down the desire to improve and succeed. Courage expands who they are. It expands their opportunities. A person of courage will have more opportunities come their way than a person of fear, because a person of fear is trying to save themselves. Everybody has fear. But a person of courage will take the risks that they need to take in order to have a better future. Not a safer one maybe, but for them, but a better future. Fear and doubt are just a part of normal life. It happens. It happens to everybody. And you know what? Fear and doubt are a part of leadership. Because life isn't easy. And we all doubt whether or not we're making the right decisions, but a courageous leader will understand what the right decision is and do it anyway. Developing yourself as a courageous leader will give you the tools that you need to overcome the fear, to overcome the doubts, to overcome the challenges. If you want to lead an organization to significance, if you want to lead an organization to have significant growth and progress, then you will have to make courageous decisions. And before you can do that, you need to develop yourself into a courageous leader. You need to learn how to have courage. And it's not easy. It's really easy to fall back on our fears. So this is your Thursday thoughts for today. If you're in a position of leadership, or you desire to be in a position of leadership, that's wonderful. Develop courage. Not courage to be a bully, not courage to go acquire power, but courage to make the hard decisions, courage to find common ground. And that's the hard decision. Sit down and listen to the opposite side and find common ground and compromise. That's a courageous leader. And somebody who does that for the benefit of everybody, I'll follow. So be a courageous leader. Develop the courage that you need and lead the people that are looking so desperately for somebody who is courageous enough to make the hard decisions, because they need to be made. Have a great day. The week is getting closer to over. This is Thursday. I'll be back and talk to you tomorrow.